everyone. So today you have your quiz, and we're just gonna go over it. This is your second quiz for this chapter. So it's your second quiz for chapter 4. We're gonna go over it. So you will see the instructions, the exercises, the format, and we're also gonna do some practice exercises so you will have an idea of what you have to do in each part and maybe practice a little bit more before you take the quiz. So first of all, let's look at our quiz. You're gonna write your name, your date, and the grade. And if you don't have a printer, don't worry. Just write everything on your notebook. For example, you always gonna write your name, your date, and the grade. For example, you can do part one, put part one, exercise one, all your procedures, of course, and which one Sorry, and which one are you gonna choose? A letter A, put letter A, and what is the answer? So in the first part here, you're gonna look at it. It says important formulas and forms, and you're just gonna look. This is just the information of each formula that we already have talked about during the class. What is a slope? Again, it is the rise and it's versus the run. What is the slope formula? And there's an error right here. It is has an extra equal sign there. I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad. I'm gonna try to fix that before I give this PDF to you. And here's the formula for slope. Then we also have the slope intercept form, and again, it's called the intercept form because we have the y coordinate, we have the slope, we have the x coordinate, but we also have the y-intercept that is going to be right there. That B means y-intercept. Remember that the M means slope and the B means the y-intercept. X and Y are just 2 points in the coordinate. It's just a coordinate in the coordinate plane. Sorry. The other form that we have is the point slope form, and again, it's point slope because we are now having two different points. We have a slope, we have a point in that coordinate plane, and we are looking for another point there. So let's go over each part. The first part says write the equation that describe each line in slope-intercept form. That means I'm going to give you this information right there, and you're going to rewrite whatever you have there in the slope-intercept form. What do you need to make the slope-intercept form? Well, you need a slope and you need an intercept. If you do not have an intercept, then you know that you have to look for that intercept. For example, if you have 2 points, if you have a point x and y, then you just substitute whatever you have with the formula and then try to figure out what is that you need. Again, you have to just write the formula with the information of slope and the intercept. And here's another error. I will fix it before I send this to you again. It says write the equation in point slope form. And again, that is this formula right there. Point slope is point and slope is this one right there. Form is going to give you the information that you need, and you just have to rewrite it as that form dictates. On the fourth part here, it says each pair of points on a line. So that means each one of those points are in the same line, and find the intercept and show the process. Every time you see the show the process, that means you need to show that process for me to give you points for that exercise. So you're going to have 2 points, and from those 2 points, using different types of formulas and forms, you are going to get, you're going to find the intercept. And in the last part right there, you have a bonus, and the bonus is a little bit longer. It says here, write the equation that describe each line in slope-intercept form. Again, slope-intercept form is this one right there. And show the process. Very important for me to give you that bonus. You have to show the process. Now here it has important notes. You have your due date. You have the Google Form link. That is a hyperlink. You can just press it and you will get to your Google Form. You have here my email. And again, it says at the end of this Google Form, that means the Google Form that you just saw, you must upload your procedures. The format acceptable is PDF or images. Failure to show your work will automatically be grounds for the failure of that exercise and therefore the test. Again, everywhere you see show the process, that means that you have to show that process for me to give you those points. I cannot give you those points if you do not show it. The way that you're going to show it is at the end of this Google form right here. You can upload it. If you have trouble, you can send it to my email. But always know that this way it takes a little bit of more time for me to get to it. And doing the with the Google form is a lot easier for me. So let's do some exercises here. Here we go. So for example, and again, I have there the information about the important formulas, sorry, that we're going to be using. And the first part says, write the equation that will describe each line in slope-intercept form. So for example, this is just an example. Let's say that I give you a slope of a third. And then I give you the y-intercept. And I tell you that that is 6. But you have to first remember that what is asking us in the instructions. They're asking us to write the equation in slope-intercept form. And that form is this one right here. So it has to look like y equals mx plus b, where you know that m is your slope and b your y-intercept. Well, as you can see, you have some information that is going to help you there. The first one is your slope. It says that your slope is a third. So you can rewrite that there. And it says that your y-intercept is 6. So you can write that there. And you just took all the information that you had here and wrote it as your slope-intercept form. That is all you have to do, okay, in that part. Now, what if I don't give you the intercept? What if I just give you a point, a random point? Well, again, it's pretty easy. All you have to do if you don't have the intercept, let's say you have the slope. Let's say I'm telling you that the slope is 4. Let's say I'm giving you a point in that line. This one is 2 and 5. You know that this is x and this is y. Then we can go back to the original formula. That is y equals mx plus b. What do I have? Well, I do have the slope. Let me do this in another color. That is 4, right? I have x. I have x, and x is 2. I have y, and y is 5, right? Now I only have one variable, right? Now I can look for that intercept. Well, this is going to be pretty easy. First, we're going to solve our multiplication. And how much is 4 times 2? That's going to be 8. It's going to pass that b and that 5. Now, how can I take away that 8? I can subtract by 8. That's going to be 0. But if I do one thing on one side, I have to do it on the other one. So I have to subtract by 8. And how much is 5 minus 8? And again, I have a positive number. I have a negative number. I'm taking more than what I have. Therefore, it's going to be negative 3. Now I have a bunch of numbers there. So let's make it a little bit clearer. On my left side, I have negative 3. And on my right side, I just have b. And this is the same thing as b equals negative 3. So I have my b. Now I can rewrite my formula, right? Again, that is y equals mx plus b. Now I have what is b? That is my intercept, right? And that my y-intercept is negative 3. I still have my slope that it gave me originally. That is 4. And because I don't like how that looks right there, it looks like a plus and a negative, I'm going to rewrite that one. And I can rewrite it as y equals 4x minus 3. And that would be my answer. So in the second part of your quiz, you says to write each equation in slope-intercept form. And again, slope-intercept form. This is this one right here. I'm going to give you an equation. Maybe it does not look like your slope-intercept form. You just have to move it around until you can make that happen. So for example, just an example, you have 2 over 3 times x plus y equals 2. Let's say you have that. Now I want to leave that y all by itself. Why? Because it's what by itself here. So I want to try to leave it all by itself. How can I do that? Well, I can move all of this to the other side, right? How can I do that? Well, I can subtract by itself, right? If I subtract 2/3 x, I have a positive minus that same as a negative. This is going to be 0. But if I subtract it on one side, I have to subtract it on the other one. And because it has a term, right? It's an x term. I have to put it away from it. 2, 3x. And it looks something like this. All of this is 0. And I'm going to rewrite what I have. Because right now there's a bunch of numbers. And I want to make it clearer. So on my left side, I have y. And I have 2 minus 2 over 3 times x. It almost looks like this, but not quite, right? Not quite. So let's just move it a little bit around. Let's just move some things around with the associative property, the community property. Let's just move things around a little bit, right? So I can say, for example, that y equals negative 2/3 x, and that 2 is positive, right? Plus 2. Now it looks like my slope form, where I can see very easily that this is my m, this is my slope, and this is my y-intercept. Pretty easy, right? Let's check out another one. Now on part 3, it says to write the equation in point-slope form. This is this one right there. for the line with the given slope that contains the given point. So let's say that I'm going to give you a slope, for example, negative a third. And as you know, this is our rise. This is our run, right? We don't really need to use it right now, but just in case you were wondering. We also have, let's say give you a point, negative 3 and 8, where this is x and this is y. And the formula, right, it says y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So all I have to do is put all the information I have in my original formula. So for example, I have my slope. This is in another color. It is negative a third. I have y, and y is 8, is positive 8. So I'm just going to put that 8 there. And I have x, right? And x is negative 3. So I have to write the negative 3. I'm going to use parentheses so I can have some distance between that subtraction and that negative because my 3 is negative. Now I can rewrite my equation if I wish. Y minus 8 equals 1/3, negative 1/3 times x, and then we have negative and subtraction and negative. Again, we can use the rule of integers. The first one stays the same. I can change that subtraction to an addition, and I change the second number sign from a negative this time to a positive. And there we go. That is our point slope form. On the fourth part, so in the fourth part says search a pair of points on a line. Find the intercepts and show the process. So for example, I'm going to give you 2 points on a line and you have to find those intercepts. How can you do this? It's going to be a little bit longer. So here you're going to need the mix of all formulas. You're going to need this one, and you're going to end up with something like this. So for example, let's say I'm going to give you a point. It says negative 1 and 5, and another point, negative 3 and negative 5. Well, the first thing I have to do is say which one is going to be my first point and which one is going to be my second point. I normally take them as they are. Again, it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to look for the slope. I don't have a slope. I have 2 points. I can find the slope on a graph, on a linear function, right? So this is going to be negative 5. And again, sorry, the formula says y2, y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Then I can just put the information that I already have into this formula. Negative 5 minus 5 over negative 3 minus negative 1. And I can rewrite this a little bit, right? The first one, using the integral rule, the first one stays the same. I can change that subtraction to an addition, and I can change the second one's sign. Again, the first one stays the same. I can change that subtraction to an addition, and I can change the second one's sign, just in case it's a little bit easier for you. So you have negative 5 plus negative 5. So you're going to add them because they're the same sign, and you're just going to pass the sign. It's going to be negative 10. And negative 3 plus 1, again, they are different, so you have to subtract them. And it's going to take the sign of the biggest number, in this case, negative 3. This is going to be negative 2. So now I can simplify them, right? I have negative over negative. That means it's going to be positive. That is a division right there. And when I multiply or divide two negative numbers, my answer is going to be a positive number. And again, if I am multiplying or dividing numbers that are the same sign are going to give me positive results. And numbers that have different signs are going to give me negative results. So this one's going to be positive. And 10 divided by 2 is going to be 5. And that is my slope. Now I have a point, I have a slope. I can use the point slope form. Do this in another color. Y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. What do I have? Well, I do have the slope. And I can choose any which one of the numbers that I want. I'm just going to take the first one. I have that y is 5, right? And I have that x is negative 1. So I have to write the negative 1. Now I can solve it. I can use my distributive property and resolve it. I'm going to try to solve some things here first. I have y equals negative, y minus 5 equals 5 times x. And again, I have that negative and negative. The first one stays the same. I'm going to change that subtraction to an addition and change the sign of the second number. Now it's going to be easier to use my distributive property. I'm going to multiply the 5 and the x and the 5 with the 1. Y minus 5. Everything on my left side stays the same. 5 times x is 5x. And 5 times positive 1 is positive 5. Now I'm going to try to leave that y by itself so I can get to that slope-intercept form. So I'm just going to add 5 here. And negative 5 plus 5 is 0. And if I added 5 on one side, I have to add it on the other one. This is going to be 10. And I'm going to be left with, and I don't have too much space there, so I'm going to do it here. I'm going to erase this right there so I have some more space. So I'm going to be left with y on my left space of the equation. And on my right side, I'm going to have 5x plus 10. Oof, that looks exactly like the slope-intercept form. And if I see this, I can automatically deduct the intercept of y. It's going to be negative. It's going to be positive 10, right? But let's go do all the process. From here, I can find the y-intercept. And again, for the y-intercept, I'm just going to make that x 0 times 0 plus 10. So y is going to be 5 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 10 is 10. You see where it came from. Now let's find the x-intercept. And again, for the x-intercept, my y has to be 0. It's going to be 0 equals 5x plus 10. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to try to take away that 10 and subtract 10 on both sides. This is going to be 0, and 0 minus 10 is going to be negative 10. I have negative 10 equals 5x. I want to take away that 5, so I have to divide by 5. And if I do it on one side, I have to do it on the other one. This is going to be 1. And negative 10 divided by 5 is going to be negative 2, right? Equals x. There we go. Oops, sorry. Yeah. And those are going to be my both intercepts. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me. You know that today I'm gonna be a little bit busy, so please be patient with me. So in the last part, you have a bonus. It says write the equation that describes the slope-intercept form and show the process. Now I don't know why I didn't write an example for that one. Let me see it. So for example, let's say that you have 2 points, any 2 points. Sorry, he says here. So let's say that somebody's going to give you the slope. Yeah, sorry for that. Okay, so here again, somebody's going to give you a slope. So for example, if I give you a slope that is 1 and give you a point, 2 and 5, then you have to give me the slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form. Again, it's this one right here. So as you can see, I'm not giving you the intercept, I am giving you a point. So in this example, what you can do, I am giving you the slope, right? So you can use that form right there. Um, and you can just, let's see, what do you have? You have your slope. So you can substitute that there. It's going to be 1. You have x and you have y. Your y is 5. And your x is 2. Now you only have one variable. It's going to be easy now to, sorry that you're not seeing it. There we go. Sorry. So now it's easier for us to solve it, right? For that being, first I'm going to solve this right here. 1 times 2 is 2. And then I can take away that 2, right? I can subtract 2 on both sides. It's going to be 0. And 5 minus 2 is 3. So 3 equals b. This is my intercept. I'm not done yet because this is not in slope-intercept form. I'm going to go back to my original formula. Y equals mx plus b. And now I have my intercept. That is 3. I have my slope that it was given to me. That is 1. And I don't have to write that 1, right? If it's just 1 times a something, it's going to be that something. So I can rewrite this as y equals x plus 3. And that will be my solution for that one. Sorry. What if they're not giving me this? What if they're just giving me intercepts, right? What if they're just giving me some intercepts? Well, let's say that instead of giving you a slope and a point, I give you 2 intercepts. For example, what if I give you the x-intercept and I tell you that that is 3? And I give you the y-intercept, sorry, the y-intercept, and I tell you that this is 5. Let's put some numbers there. Well, if I give you those intercepts, you know that that is the same as a point. because for you to have an intercept on your x axis, that means that your y has to be 0. So that means you have a point when x is 3, y is 0. And if you have an intercept in y, then you know that your x has to be 0 for you to have that intercept. So those are 2 points, and from 2 points, I can find a slope, right? I just have to tell which one is going to be my first one and which one is going to be my second one. So for example, it's going to be 5 minus 0 over 0 minus 3. And 5 minus 0 is 5. And 0 minus 3 is negative 3. And this is the same thing as negative 5 over 3. Sorry, over 3. That is my slope. This is my rise. This is my run. I'm going to leave it like that. Now that I have my slope and I have a point, I don't even need a point, right? I have an intercept. I already have the y-intercept. So I can use the slope-intercept form. I'm going to rewrite it here. Y equals mx plus b. And I just found out what is my slope. And my slope is negative 5 over 3. And they already gave me the y-intercept. And that was 5. And that is my slope-intercept form. Easy peasy. Guys, if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask me through WhatsApp. Again, today, for you today is today, but for me, I'm doing this a day before. Um, it's gonna be a little bit busy, so I do apologize if I cannot answer that phone on time. Just be patient with me. I'm gonna be very patient with you. And here's some information. Again, at the end of the Google form, you must upload the processes. That means all your process and procedures. The format acceptable for the Google form is PDF or any type of image. Failure to show your work will automatically be grounds for failure of that specific exercise and therefore the test, because if you have a bunch of zeros because you didn't show your work, then I cannot give you points for it. Therefore, it's going to affect your quiz. I do wish you the best, and I hope to see you soon. See you in the next class, and have a wonderful day. Bye.